Coco Gauff now given brutal draw in Wuhan as she looks to recover from heavy defeat to Amanda Anisimova. Coco Gauff will be looking to get back to winning ways at the Wuhan Open after being dismantled by Amanda Anisimova at the China Open. Anisimova needed 58 minutes to send her compatriot packing last week, and the American went on to win the title by defeating Linda Noskova in the final. Coco Gauff handed nightmare Wuhan Open draw. Gauff will be looking to get back on track pretty quickly after the heavy defeat to Anisimova, but she will have to win the next tournament the hard way. Gauff does have a bye through the first round due to being the world's number 3 on the WTA rankings, but from that point, it looks like a rough road to the title. The reigning French Open champion could play Emma Navarro, Mira Andreeva, Iga Swiatek and world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka during the tournament in Wuhan. Gauff will need to really knuckle down if she's to avoid a shock at the tournament, and winning it looks like a thankless task for the American. Coco Gauff run to the Wuhan Open. Potential opponent: R1, B, R2, Wang Xinyu, R3, Emma Navarro, QF, Mira Andreeva, ZF, Iga Swiatek, F, Aryna Sabalenka. Aryna Sabalenka set to return to tennis. After winning the US Open, Sabalenka chose to take some time off from competitive tennis and now she's ready to return to action in Wuhan. Here is a creative, reflective piece, is almost equal to 800 to 1,000 words, on Coco Gauff's situation. Facing a brutal loss, entering a difficult draw in Wuhan, and the mental and competitive dynamics she must navigate. The air in Wuhan feels heavier now. After a searing defeat to Amanda Anisimova in Beijing, Coco Gauff carries both the sting of loss and the burden of expectation into the next arena. The draw she has been handed is brutal, by all accounts, a test not just of her physical game, but of her resilience, her mind, and her readiness to reshape the narrative. The aftermath of Beijing. In Beijing, Gauff's campaign unraveled in 58 merciless minutes, a 6-1, 6-2 drubbing at the hands of Anisimova. TennisUpToDate.com +3 Reuters +3 Tennis 365 +3 The numbers make for unsettling reading. She landed just 38% of her first serves, won only 11 of 28 first serve points, and limped through the second serve with 6 points won on that wing. Tennis 365 +2 SI +2 She committed 5 double faults. Tennis 365 +1 on Anisimova's return. She was broken 5 times in 7 service games. Tennis 365 +1. Gauff admitted afterwards that she couldn't really have a chance of getting a rhythm, and that Anisimova completely took over. SI +2 TennisUpToDate.com +2 Yet, in loss she also tried to mine lessons, a recurring phrase in her post-match comments. SI +1. That kind of defeat stings. It bruises confidence, it raises doubts. Was the serve broken? Was the timing off? Did she misread the match's pace? The specter of what went wrong looms, especially as she approaches a new tournament under pressure to respond. The brutal draw, a collision course. Brutal draw is no hyperbole. The Wuhan Open beckons with a slate of matchups that demand full force, neither gift matches nor easy passage. In league with players who thrive on pressure, whoever she faces will smell urgency, will dig deeper, will aim to exploit any sign of fragility. In addition, Anisimova, the immediate source of the blow, has withdrawn from Wuhan. Wikipedia that removes a familiar target but doesn't soften the terrain. The top half of the draw still contains threat after threat, battle-hardened stars, power hitters, gritty returners. And in the absence of an easy path, Gauff's first matches may come against those already riding momentum. But perhaps the tougher draw is internal. The match she must play against herself, shaking off the echoes of Beijing, resetting mental patterns, and believing that yes, she can go deeper in the draw, is the one she cannot avoid. In that sense, the draw is brutal not just externally but psychologically. A narrative of recovery, not reversal. The natural impulse might be to wish for vindication, a sudden burst of brilliance to erase the memory of a loss. But in truth, the work here is incremental. Recovery doesn't demand perfection, it demands progress. 1. Reclaim control of the serve. Gauff's serve, especially the second serve, remains a recurring source of trouble, as it was in this loss. That must be a focal point in her preparations. If her first serve is landing but not winning points, she must rebuild the confidence to be aggressive, to shorten points, to dictate more often. 2. Reset the narrative of momentum. She cannot let one defeat become a spiral. Instead, she must frame Wuhan as a fresh canvas. Losses happen. What defines champions is how they respond. She should approach each match with its own script. 3. Leverage mental toughness. Gauff has shown resilience before, in tiebreaks, tight matches, recovering from setbacks mid-match. That reservoir of toughness must be tapped now. She must stay present, guard against self-doubt, and impose belief even when the scoreline is slipping. 4. Use her versatility and athleticism. Against returners, against pressure points, against powerful hitters, she has the tools: footwork, reach, variety, movement. The key lies in deploying them smartly, selectively, adapting to opponent styles. The poetics of a comeback. There's a shape to comebacks, and even in the darkest moments, the lines are visible if one pays attention. Picture the match in Wuhan. A slow start, perhaps, errors creeping, serve slipping. She feels the echo of Beijing in every missed swing. The crowd is polite, expectant. The opponent tries to press. Then, a spark, a gutsy return winner, a 15-40 advantage on serve. She takes it, a small thing but a seed of shift. On the next game, she holds amid tension. Then she breaks. Head held high. Body engaged. Suddenly the match opens. The opponent's margin of safety narrows. Gauff begins to breathe again, moves better, mixes slices, attacks second serves. She rides the tide, claiming a set. Then the second. And even if she doesn't always win, she forces an exit that respects her, not a capitulation, but a fight. That is how narratives change, not with sudden strokes, but with accumulation of small, brave moments. With courage when the path is painful, with consistency when doubts loom, with conviction when the score tightens. The weight of expectation and its leverage. Part of the pressure Gauff faces is external: fans, media, rankings. But part of it is internal. She wants to prove, to reassure, herself above all. Yet expectations can also sharpen focus. The knowledge that every point matters, every game stings, can crystallize purpose. When one is in a corner, one's instincts either close down or open. Gauff must aim for the latter, to let the pressure sharpen rather than suffocate. Her prior successes, major titles, dominant runs, fights won, are not erased by a bad day. They are reserves she can draw on. She has proven she belongs in the highest echelons. She is not just a contender, she is champion material. The draw may be brutal, but she has already carried the weight of expectation before.